Now for a chance to bring you one of the brightest young prospects anywhere in British boxing. Indeed, Ricky Hatton was nominated Britain's Young Boxer of the Year last year. Very much on home territory here in Manchester. Hatton looking to make it 17 straight wins, the 21-year-old light welterweight. But a couple of firsts for him, an 8-rounder for the first time, and Mexican opposition in the shape of Leoncio Garces. Here's what happened.
One of the problems for Ricky Hatton here is that this Mexican, he hardly knows anything about him. Only really knew who he was fighting about a week ago. And he's a little worried about that, Ricky Hatton. I was talking to him at the weigh-in. So Hatton, regarded generally as the best prospect in the country, still only 21, in the black, white and blue trunks, the red of the Mexican Leoncio Garces, who's allegedly an exciting, crowd-pleasing type with a bit of power. We shall see.
Well, this is the type of fight he's got to come up against, Hatton. He's got to take people on that he doesn't know, and you know, and be able to work them out inside the ring, and be able to still win.
He'll be just assessing this man in front of him as he goes along here in the first round, trying to see what he's got. What we do know about Garces is he's won 10 out of 12 fights with 6 knockouts and lost a couple of times, but both times on points. Never stopped yet. So Hatton will do well if he manages to stop him. Right hand, looked quite a dangerous shot, and Hatton rather caught out by that, wasn't he?
Well, he's been caught out with a few punches already, a few decent left hooks, a right hand. He's got to tighten up his defense. That's one of the criticisms against him. Sometimes he's a little open, but he's got to try and sort this Mexican out, and sort him out pretty quick.
Good right hand from Hatton himself. Hatton, who has problems, or has had in the past, with cuts. Has that kind of skin, as you can see. Good left hook from him. He's usually very, very stiff with the jab as well, Hatton. We can see with this Mexican already that the overhand right is a dangerous weapon from him.
Just watching this at the start, Hatton just seems a little tense, a little stiff, a little upright. You know, he's not as loose as he normally is. So maybe, you know, just being unaware of what this guy's like has just put him off a little.
And that's giving this Mexican 1 or 2 opportunities early on here. Hatton yet to fight for the British title, but there are those who believe he has the capacity to maybe make it to world level.
Well, Hatton was caught with another decent right hand there, and he just has to be a little careful as he comes in.
They're often teeth tough, these little Mexicans. They're brought up in a hard school over there. That's a great jab by Hatton.
Garces looks a little raw, but he does look strong.
Strong, and looks too as if he wants a real argument, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He's certainly not fazed by any sort of reputation Hatton might have.
Good left hook to the body there from Hatton. That's his trademark shot at the end of a difficult round for him. Billy Graham calls himself the preacher, predictably enough, working the corner.
There's that good jab from Hatton. He managed to get his right hand up at that point. Early on he was caught with a few punches, but he started to relax a little bit as the round went on. There's a good jab again from Hatton, this time to the chest, just pushing Garces off balance. There it is, just aiming for the chest and just pushing him against the ropes. Hatton was just starting to get looser towards the end. Good body punch there.
10 seconds to all in.
Hatton landing more in that opening round, which we think he probably just shaded.
Seconds out, round 2.
Hatton, remember, in the blue, black and white trunks, getting it here with some hurtful looking shots, pinning Garces in the corner, but look at the Mexican trying to fight his way out of there.
He's rugged and fiery. He's got that sneer on his face, waiting for Hatton to come in, waiting for Hatton to commit himself and catch him with a counter.
Just occasionally, Hatton's defence not looking quite as good as he would like. He is something of a perfectionist about himself, analyses his own performances and keeps videos of all the fighters at world level in the division. Now that's a really good right hand and left hook to the body, and another right too from Hatton. The snappier, classier shots coming from the young man from Manchester, who was once on Manchester City's books, by the way.
But Hatton is having to take one or two as he comes in, and has been cut in the past. He's got to be careful when he's inside.
Scything body shots from Hatton.
He's showing good technical ability there, turning his man, stepping up the side, and then a body punch.
Just hit the gloves with that shot. Bit of a slap, really, from Hatton. Less coming back from the Mexican now. I think he's feeling the weight of these body punches, Glenn.
Yes, he's now starting to have to think about some of the punches that he's having to take off Hatton.
Many people around the game in this country who believe Hatton is good enough to win the British Championship right now, and he's hurt him there. He's hurt Garces there. M.E.N steps in. He wasn't actually down, but the ropes kept him up at that point.
6, 7, 8.
So the count is justifiable. Mandatory 8 count. Garces hurt in the second. As Hatton got him here. It's the body shots that are doing it again for him. There's another one. Garces is hurt and a little disorientated. Huge right to the head as well now.
Good variety from Hatton. He's starting to really hurt Garces, and you can see him. He's starting to be. He's getting sick in there. Good punches coming in from Hatton.
Trying to cover up desperately as the round ends. It was a big round for Ricky Hatton. Third round with Ricky Hatton. You may not be familiar with the name if you're not a regular watcher of the boxing, but I think you might become familiar with it over the next 2 or 3 years. Well in control here against this Mexican Leoncio Garces in the red trunks. Oh, right uppercut, super shot.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Is Garces going to make it just about? I'm not sure he understood the count in English, did he?
Well, no, I think he looked at the corner. I don't really think he wanted to go on. His pride made him, but he didn't really want to. I think he's looking at his corner for a bit of help.
I'm not sure he understood the count, you know. I think he meant to get up at 8, but he's definitely now in deep trouble here. Hatton just has to pick the punches, you would think. Well, he looked very fiery early on, but Hatton's worked him out quickly and knows that these body punches are the key. Oh, big right hand. Referee M.E.N looking on very closely. Thought about stepping in for the stoppage.
Well, this is a good performance from Hatton. Really has got Garces in trouble.
He's hurt, the Mexican. Is he going to punch back? If he doesn't, the referee's going to step in, and he does step in. It is over. The first time that Garces has been stopped in 13 fights, and Ricky Hatton was too fiery, too ferocious, too powerful, too good.
Well, it was a little bit of a cold start for him, but he quickly found out exactly what to do. Got the measure of Garces, and it wasn't a matter of time before he got his rhythm and really started whipping in the left hooks and the punches to the head. And that was an excellent performance, an excellent stoppage for Ricky Hatton.
Might have been a first sight, I think, for some of our viewers tonight who've tuned into boxing maybe for the first time just to see Tyson. That'll have been their first glimpse of him. I think they will be hearing more of him.
Well, I think that anybody that watching him for the first time will be impressed. This is a youngster who's boxing writers young fight of the year, really is a good talent where we've been raving about him for a long time.
This is how the fight came towards its end in this round.
Well, Garces has had a good guard there. He's really chucked up, but Hatton finding the gaps round the side and then mixing it up with a good uppercut. Really is technical ability is excellent. Look at the way he picks his punches.
He's exciting too, isn't he? With the power.
Very exciting. He reminds me of a young Roberto Duran. You know, he wants to get his opponent out of there. He's got that rhythm. He's got that fire. You know, very loose. Not like your typical European fighter.
But he hasn't got that sneering, arrogant, moody way with him out of the ring. I mean, he's like a choir boy out of the ring, isn't he?
Well, I think you've got to be sneering and moody if you live in Panama. He's a Manchester boy.
There's parts of Manchester too, you know.
Beautiful uppercut there from Hatton. Really has excellent punch picking.
And that was when Mickey Van, the referee, stepped in. It had to become very one-sided. Hatton, again, looking very, very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute, 38 seconds of round number 3. With the opponent in no position to continue, our referee in charge, Mickey Van, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout, and still undefeated, Ricky Hitman Hatton.
So well done once more to Ricky Hatton. Let's hope it's not too long before we see him topping the bill in a major promotion. Certainly the signs are good.